here. There is one God, one presence, one power, one blessing, one holy space. One. All of the ways it expresses ourselves as each other, as ourselves through this beautiful world, light, life of every form, every atom, every cell, every galaxy, all. We are one. We are one. And from this place of knowing that this is the presence, we call the presence, it is God, we call God, it is light, it is love, it is infinite mind, it is whatever name we call it. Whatever name we call it, it is love. And from this place, we walk this path knowing that this is the love that we are one with this beloved, blessed, holy energy. We are one. We are one not only with this energy, but with each other, holding this space of holy remembrance this morning. Knowing with great gratitude that we are here as those remembering, and we are blessing this moment now. In the full realization of the holiness that we are, we know that every attribute is ours: kindness, love, care, strength, power, courage, faith, peace, goodness, kindness, compassion. We stand as those attributes, capacities of God today. We know ourselves as that capacity, as that ability, as that identity. And in this world today, we look out from this place of truth, and we know this to be the truth no matter what circumstance is showing up in the world around us, no matter what war, what conflict, even within us. And maybe most especially within us, wherever it is that there is disharmony, we bring love. We answer the call of any kind with love. We knowing that is the strength and the power and the holiness of who we are. We accept this. We are grateful for this. We bask in this and we play in this during this service today. Allow yourselves the freedom from worry or doubt, and let yourself be free. Enjoy the gift that is today, the gift that is this moment. We plant these seeds knowing that they are bursting from the soil of possibility into this place of love. And we take this moment right now in silence as we bless all that comes into our awareness that is calling for our love. Standing firm in our loving, whole in our knowing, at peace in the truth.
Well, I'm sitting here in silence, sending people smiles and realizing when we send out love, it keeps on rising. So I choose to close my eyelids to send positive vibes into every living being, from the ocean to the skies. And as I look at all the crisis, I realize that I just can send my love and prayers and forgive all of my rivals. To me, this is all priceless, to transform all the violence from sacrifice and shrines, sitting on this cushion silently. May all beings be happy, peaceful and non-violent. May not one being suffer in their minds, even the tyrants. May all souls find alignment with their hands, their hearts and minds. And may all of us keep walking from ignorance to be wiser. Like, ooh, we're sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you. We're sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you. We're sending prayers out to you. Ooh, sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you. Sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you, sending prayers out to you.
Everyone. Okay. Good morning again. I've been invited to do the reading today, and I feel very honored because this reading is called Empty Hands, and it's by Nimo Patel. And it's really the guiding mission of his work, as I understand it anyway. And there's a deep spiritual message here. And what Reverend Catherine expressed in her invocation about oneness comes through here spiritually, and also in the on the ground work that Nimo expresses so beautifully in his work. So this is Empty Hands. The spiritual message of empty hands is a profound reminder of the impermanence of life and the essence of our journey. It teaches us that we come into this world with nothing, and we depart from it in the same way. Our existence is transient, and the material possessions we accumulate during our lifetime are but temporary gifts. Embracing the concept of empty hands is an invitation to shed the burdens of attachment and materialism. It encourages us to focus on the intangible wealth of love, of kindness, and of the impact that we leave on others. In recognizing that we leave this world with empty hands, we are compelled to fill our lives with the richness of experience, with compassion, and with meaningful connections. In realizing the importance of living a life of purpose, a life of gratitude, and a life of selflessness, we can shift our focus toward the lasting legacy we leave through our actions, the love that we share, and the positive change that we bring to the lives of others. In this realization, it is in this realization that we find the true spiritual wealth that transcends the limitations of time and of matter. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be here this morning, and I know we have so much beauty that's planned, and I hope that you just take it all in. We have to know and believe always that our loving will change the world. Love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Everybody, love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Let's all share. Share, share, share who you are, and share, share, share when it's hard to share. Share, our sharing will change the world. One more time, let's share. Share, 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 share who you are, and share, share, share when it's hard to share. Share, our sharing will change the world. Let's sing, sing, sing all together. Sing all together. Sing, sing, sing when it's hard to sing. Sing, our singing will change the world. Let's care for each other. Care, care, care for each other. Care, care, care for the ones who need care. Our caring will change the world. One more time, care. Care, care, care on the other. Care, care, care for the ones who need care. Our caring will change the world. Finally care, singing for you, heart wide open for what we came to do. Wind in the trees, send the melody true. Love everybody, let your love shine through. Everybody sing love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Love and love, love, love. Let's sing, y'all. Come on. Love. for loving will change the world. All right, we want the world to hear it. Come on now. Love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Our loving will change the world. Sharing will change the world. Our caring will change the world. Our sharing will change the world. Our singing will change the world. Our loving will change the world. Our loving will change the world. Our loving will change the world. Let's make it happen.
Good morning, everybody.
There we go.
One more time. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
There we go. There's our CCL. So in your bulletins is the affirmation for today. So if you will all stand.
Let's really ground this affirmations. Let them come all the way into your body. We're going to do them as call and response.
So repeat after us. All that I am, all that I am, all that I see,
All that I see,
all that I've been,
all that I've been,
and all that I will ever be
and all that I will ever be
is a blessing.
is a blessing.
It's so amazing.
It's so amazing.
And I am grateful for it all.
And I am grateful for it all.
So it is.
And so it is. Amen. I'm just going to bring you up with me. We're trying to communicate. They don't know we're talking. So I just want to say that this gentleman just broke open my heart in the first 10 seconds I met him. And I hope he's about to do the same to you. And if you've already met him, has already done the same to you. He is one of the most beautiful energy, love, consciousness that I've just been able to kind of come into contact with recently. And I just want you to know that I loved him so much. And so did Reverend Paul, who almost like ran in front of me to make sure he met Nimo too, who is not here today because he's coming home from Italy, but and sad to miss it. But we want you to know that we had such a deep connection, and this man gave us your heart. He just gave us his heart and said, yeah, I can do that. And he came. So he's here for you to enjoy, sorry, I'm choked up, to get to be with and enjoy the loving that he's carrying through the world in so many ways, in so many places. And I hope he's going to tell us some about his work and also just play and sing with us too. Yay. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy life. Thank you, Catherine. And we synchronously met a few weeks ago in Kansas, and I have the blessing to be here with you today. So thank you so much for being a part of this community. Dale, thank you for bringing us into that space. Yes, caring, sharing when it's hard to do. Ooh, that's the work right there. And thank you for reminding us that. You know, Ubuntu. You know, we are one. And there's so many challenges, not today only. There have been challenges on our planet since the beginning of time. So nothing is different from the darkness we might observe or hear or see today than it was in the past. I feel like we have one goal, one role in this process, which is how do we expand our heart? How do we expand our definition of who we love and who we care for, and who, when suffers, hurts us inside, right? Our family, what we call our family. Our family is our children and our relative. How do we expand that definition is, to me, what I think one of our goals should be while we're alive. Because ultimately, if we look at all the suffering that's in existence, it's because we all in the planet, don't have the same definition of family, right? But if we could expand that boundary, and it's not some huge task, it's just expanding it one person beyond what you currently have, right? Like starting one human being at a time. Can we look at each other? Can we look down the street? Can we start to use our heart to control our eyes and our mind, right? So to get to a space where I see somebody and I can say, that's my brother and that's my sister, and maybe not biologically or scientifically, but deep down in my heart, I can hug that person, I can serve that person, I can love that person. I feel like this is the journey. And I know that's why we're all here and at CCL, why we come and spend this time together to practice that together, right? So what I want to do is start with a song. But what I love about this song, and when we're doing it together, is one, we'll sing a little together. But in our culture, I live in India. I've been living in India for the last 15 years. I grew up in Los Angeles, but I moved to India to work on a service project that just sucked me in, and I've been stuck there now for the past 15 years and feel very blessed also. But you guys hear the word namaste, right? This idea of like, if we can look at each other's hearts and just bow to that heart, that intention, and see the deepest regard and respect and love and joy in that person. So in this song, we're going to go, when I lift my hands up, I just want you guys to sing along. To my people, yeah, because this is like, we're sending this love out to everyone. Okay, so when I put my hands up, it's like, to my people, yeah. That's all. No more difficult lyrics. Okay, so just that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. To my people, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do that 3 times. On the 4th one, we're going to go, to my people, yeah. And I want you to do a, namaste type of posture and look at somebody in the room, eye to eye, if you can, and say, I bow down to your heart of gold. And that's all we're going to do. So we'll do to my people 3 times. On the 4th, to my people, it goes, to my people, yeah, I bow down to your heart of gold, right? So this is going to be with music. Here we go. You guys ready? All right, here, let's try this. All right, here to my people, yeah, you're my soul, you're my roots, you're my family, my life, and my truth. To my people, yeah, you're everybody, every being, every life, every moment, everything. To my people, yeah. You to help me grow. To my people, yeah, I bow down to your heart of gold. To my people, yeah, you're my soul, you're my roots, you're my family, my life, and my truth. To my people, yeah, you're everybody, every being, every life, every moment, everything. To my people, yeah, you're my guide, you're my soul, you're the one that pushes me to help me grow. To my people, yeah, I bow down to your heart of gold. From the day that we were born and mom hugged us with warmth, we grew because we knew we had all your support. From the fams to the friends, your love was medicine, keep giving us the strength to rise when we would sin. The knowledge that we gained through every single mistake, but you never backed down. Through this, you taught me faith. Every single one of you, through being you do find a way to spread love through truth, through me and you. It's because of you I grew, because of you I flew, because of you we made it through without residue. Because of you we all have a home to come to. You're a blessing to us all, so keep just being you. To my people, yeah, you're my soul, you're my roots, you're my family,
my life and my truth to my people. Yeah, yeah, everybody, every being, every life, every moment, everything to my people. Yeah, yeah, God, you're my soul. You're the one that pushes me to help me grow to my people. Yeah, I bow down to your heart of gold. Last time to my people, yeah. You're my soul, you're my roots, you're my family, my life, and my truth to my people, yeah. You're everybody, every being, every life, every moment, everything to my people, yeah. You're my guide, you're my soul, you're the one that pushes me to help me grow to my people, yeah. I bow down to your heart of gold, you're my people. Woo! Thank you. Big round of applause for each other. One of the traditions I love in the culture in India is this, like the more that we can work that lower back and bow down, it's like lower back pain, it's like kind of equivalent to humility, because the more you bow, the more humble we become, right? So I love that. And I love another tradition, which is for our elders, many times what we do is we bow down and touch their feet. And I know in the Japanese traditions as well, there's a lot of bowing, but I love that concept. How do we bring that sense of humility and respect to the space? So today, within the time frame that we have, I wanted to share just a little about. It was a little back and forth with Catherine and I, just what could be shared, and a little of this journey. We called it the unexpected journey, because for me, it definitely was unexpected where my life took me. I grew up and was born in Los Angeles. And I had a dream to be in Santa Monica Beach on a beach house at this age. I should have been there by now. Somehow I took a wrong turn and I couldn't find my way back. And I'm like in this arid desert city that's about 100 degrees average the whole year. And like I said, I'm stuck. I want to stay there for now. But I'm wondering, how did I get here? And that's a little of the journey I was going to share with you. And it's given me the most, I think, food for my soul. And it's been through serving, and that's been the blessing. So I'm going to share a little.
Good morning.
In 2000, so I graduated. I went to school here, actually, in Philadelphia, UPenn. So that was amazing. When I looked up Moorestown, I'm like, wait, no, can't be right. It can't be near Camden. No, Philly? What? We're going home again. So it was really exciting to come back here. I graduated in 2000. After that, I went to New York to work for a couple of years. And obviously 2000 and 2002, something happened in between those 2 years. And I was living right next to the World Trade Center. I was working at one of the World Trade Center buildings, the American Express building, which was right directly, 50 feet across from the North Tower. So my life was really just that whole area every day. I walked through the World Trade Courtyard every day for 2 years, walked back. I still remember September 10th, there was a concert series going on, walking back home, enjoying that, going back through the courtyard, going home. And things changed the next morning. And when those buildings fell and we all ran, we all ended up on Staten Island, ended up in Pennsylvania for a week until our company was able to call us all back in. So much happened, obviously, but the question for me definitely arose, what am I doing with my life? And because I was physically involved with seeing the suffering, people jumping out of a 90-story floor just to save themselves from burning, but to die peacefully in 1 second instead of burning. And there was so much that triggered, like, how am I going to justify what just happened? And the question arose, well, try to find more purpose while you're alive, because we don't know when we're going to leave. And later, 8 months later, in March of 2002, a group of children came to perform in New Jersey. My middle school friend from Los Angeles calls and says, Nimo, you got to go check this show out. I'm like, what? And she said, it's in New Jersey. There's a show called IKTA, which means unity. And the show was on Dr. King and Gandhi's life mission of trying to bring unity amongst human citizens.
And I was blown away. 14 children from some of the most impoverished parts of India come on a flight to America and perform a show on this message of unity. I was blown away, and it planted a deep seed in me that ended up triggering a whole shift. And 5 years later from that moment, I went to volunteer at this nonprofit in India, based in the Mahatma Gandhi ashram, which is what Mahatma Gandhi started 100 years ago when he moved back to India from South Africa. And since then, it's been a wild adventure ride internally, actually. Just this process of trying to rewire who I had become from going to business school at Wharton to Wall Street to becoming a musician and doing all those things to saying, I'm not feeling fulfilled. There's got to be a better path. And it became this inner journey that really became the real journey for me. And there were 3 things that really, like, when I decided I'm going to close down, I had an animation studio at that time. I had a music group, and yet I was feeling very unfulfilled. There were 3 things that led me to say, if I'm going to rewire myself, it's going to require some work. And it was these 3 things. It was 1, I wanted to simplify life again. 2, I wanted to work on myself, which would require for me to experiment. Mahatma Gandhi's autobiography was called The Story of My Experiments with Truth. His life journey was a series of experiments, because how do we otherwise work on ourselves? And I mean, nothing's ever perfect, and we got to try, and then things fail, and we work. And so the journey of this idea for myself, like when I moved to India, I was like, okay, how do I experiment? How do I rewire? Because obviously, if I wasn't happy with material success, then I got issues inside that I need to clean up. And the last thing was service. Mahatma Gandhi has this beautiful quote. He says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I love that. It's like once you start letting go of this like self agenda, things start opening up in us. And we start finding some deeper satisfaction and some deeper joy. And we're not like always trying to push people aside, because when we want something for ourselves is when we push, but when we're doing for others, we're like, oh yeah, go ahead. And this, these learnings start arising more and more. Thoreau has this beautiful quote, simplicity for me was when I decided to go serve, I got rid of everything I owned at that time, except for my money. I knew I'll need that because I was going to go serve and I wasn't going to make any money. So I was like, okay, how long can I live off the money that I have? So I knew that was important, but everything else, I was trying to understand what my relationship was with material possessions, and simplifying helped me realize how light you could feel. And I was like, wow, I don't need all this. And even though a lot of my friends are millionaires now, I feel so light and blessed as if I am that inside, And so simplification was a big part. And I remember my dad even asked me, like, that if you're going to walk this path, you're not going to have all those things that you want and that everybody around you has. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure, but let me see how I feel. If I don't feel good about it, then I'll go back to, seeking all that. But simplification was a big part. And then, like I was talking about, the practices, treating life as a laboratory. That if I'm feeling anger and I want to cultivate patience or compassion, then it's not just praying for it, it's practicing it. And how do I practice it? I remember one of the big things I felt when I was moving into the space at the Gandhi ashram, Mahatma Gandhi talks a lot about nonviolence. And obviously, Dr. King learned a lot of his practices through the practices of Mahatma Gandhi. But for me, when I was thinking about nonviolence, I'm like, where does that actually stem from? Why didn't Gandhi or King say love first? Why are they saying nonviolence? And for me, the research led to realizing that nonviolence may mean starting with a mind that's not violent, starting with a mind that's not judging. And so non-judgment became a practice that was really, really triggering inside of me, because I felt like I was judging everybody and myself. And so that was one big practice I started kind of digging into. And that the taming of the judgment was a long journey, and it still is. I still see my mind pop up, but it's less, I still see the mind kind of like, not when it not in agreement or feeling like there's a difference in alignment of values or actions, but the awareness of it and not wanting to do with it and the forgiveness to myself and to somebody else is quicker. And that brings a lot of peace versus in this constant space of comparison or judgment or this is good and this is bad. So there was a lot of practices that I started putting in. Wealth was also important because, as we all know, I think when we talk about wealth, the first thing is cha-ching, we hear that. But there's so many other forms of wealth, right? And to live a life stuck in the mindset that wealth is a bank account could be it's a good goal to have that, but it could lead to a lot of suffering as well, right? But when we realize that there's other forms of wealth, spiritual wealth, emotional wealth, physical health, and wealth, and all the elements of that, then I think so for me, one of the experiments I had to do moving to India was, how much am I dependent on actual money? And what I decided to do, I did this, and I shared this in Kansas, but I started keeping track of every penny I spent on every small thing. So if I took a taxi ride, a rickshaw ride, what we call in India, and it was 10 rupees, which might be like, I don't even know, like 12 cents here, I would write it down. I did this for 2 years, and I bucket and categorized everything. And every week I would then tally it up every month. I would just wanted to see my patterns of where I was spending money. And I started realizing, wow, I don't really need that much to be happy. And I would, I'd have categories like entertainment, travel 1, travel 2, travel 3, whether it's like just a bus ride or a rental car or a plane, really trying to understand my patterns. And then that helped me feel free again, that, wow, I don't need to be a millionaire. I don't need to have so much money. I just need enough. And then there's a lot of joy after that, and empathy has always been a big thing. When a lot of people say, when you go to India, you see so much suffering, or if you go to Africa, you see so much suffering. But instead of just suffering or feeling sympathy, how do I cultivate a sense of empathy so I can connect and feel the wisdom that exists in those communities? And there were, these are all just a list of different types of experiments. But one of, like, for example, a fun experiment that helped me learn so much was I went 24 hours blindfolded in a blind school that we run. And there was no sympathy for the children that I cultivated. All I cultivated was respect and admiration that these children, like every step I took, I was like scared. And then these kids are, no, come on. I'm like, no, slow down. I'm like scared to take a step. And they're just like running with me. They take me to the toilet, teaching me how to eat. I was like, and Indian food's kind of sloppy if you don't know what you're eating, and it's like just eating that. And I was like, man, these kids are amazing. And the senses, we play cricket. It's like baseball over there, from here, cricket over there. So the way they play with balls with whistles and with the bells in them. So, they're making use of their hearing. So you go, and as the sound comes strong enough, they know when to swing, and it's rolled on the ground. I think they might have done it 15 times to me. I never hit it once. And when these kids are playing, I'm just hearing whack, whack, whack. And it's, again, just like the idea of, as these small little experiments started helping me learn about how amazing the people are around me. And we did, on my birthday, I remember, maybe this might have been 10 years ago, one of my elder mentors, he's like, for your birthday, we're going to go clean human defecation. And he knew that I'd be up for it. But what was powerful, we went into one of the slum communities, and it was where, women and men both defecate, but women have to go further into the bush because it's a very, it's such a sensitive thing, and they feel unsafe. And yet when we went there to go in there, you start realizing how prickly the thorns are inside those spaces. They go in the nighttime because they don't want to be seen. And all you start realizing is you start developing a sense of empathy, what they must be going through and how strong they are in these communities. And these are the women that we serve. Some of our family have, are wearing heart pins. These are some of the women that are making these heart pins. And you just start serving from a different space. You're humbled constantly, and suffering no longer becomes something you're sympathizing towards, but you just respect, and you start realizing how much it's your responsibility to be of support to that, which is different than saying the world is broken and I need to fix it, to say, there are challenges, but I need to surrender to serving it, and being a part of a small part of helping somewhere in one nook or cranny of this planet, instead of feeling that it's, so tough. So I love this quote: service is external meditation, and meditation is internal service. And so what I think for me, as I started going into this space over the years, is realizing it's not just helping others. The focus needs to be on purifying my own mind and heart while serving. If I'm serving and if it's not cleaning up my heart, or it's not cleaning my mind, then I don't feel like it's worth it. But if through the process and the journey of service, as we all are doing here in some way or another, if we're becoming humbler, if we're finding more joy, if we're smiling a little more or whatever, or hugging a little more, if service is leading to that, then you got the perfect benchmark that you're on the right path, And I think that's very important, that it's a two-way road to do service, but also to make sure that we're healing ourselves through that process. We're also growing and learning. And this is that quote that I really love by Mahatma Gandhi, that in service, we lose ourselves, but we find ourselves, I'll share with you a fun little journey that I went on. So I told you about that show that I'd seen in New Jersey in 2002. So when I moved there, my goal was to do a similar thing. I love children, and I thought, okay, what's the best way for me to offer myself? And it was, well, I would love to create a musical as well. And so we went on this journey. It took me about a year. I thought I'd be there for a year and I'd be like, okay, my volunteer time is up, and then I'll go back to doing whatever I felt. But it took me a year just to select 16 kids and, go through a process of connecting with the community, learning what it means to be doing grassroots work. And these communities are what we call slum communities. They're migrants from rural areas who seek to make better income in the cities, but squat on land. And those squatted lands eventually become a slum area with no sanitation, no plumbing, no water, no individual water, food, everything is very, very scarce and very dense. So here, let's say in Morristown, where your density is maybe 1,000 people per square kilometer, right? Over there, it's about 100,000 people per square kilometer. So you can imagine how cramped up people are living, shackled, shack to shack, bricks and plastic and things covering their homes. So it's in that type of space that it took me time to learn what does it mean to be a part of these communities. And eventually was able to select 16 children from 5 of the different communities. And we went on this amazing journey to create a show. This is 8 of the girls, Chandni, Nikita, Deepmala, Bharti, Krishna, Asha, Payal, and Priyanka, and 8 of the boys, Devram, Vicky, Nitesh, Dharmaji, Bhonik, Gorang, Sanjay, and Vishal. And we went on this 2-year journey together. And my intention was that it's going to be a journey of self-growth for us. We're going to create a show that's some type of ultimate end goal, but really the focus is going to be on these 2 words: small things. And if I were to sum up like my journey in India up to now, one quote that hits me the hardest is a quote that Mother Teresa was quoted for. And she said, "We may not all be able to do great things all the time, but for sure we can do small things with great love." Right? And I think that's so applicable to all of us everywhere, wherever we are. And I wanted that to be the goal of this journey. I didn't want the kids to get in this mindset that we're going to go perform this big show. Instead, how do we take each day at a time, nurture each relationship, nurture the family of the spirit of us, and at the same time use the creative process to explore and enjoy. And so we went on this journey. Here's Chandni on the left, cleaning a bathroom. That's Gorang's father on the right during a parent meeting. But one of the commitments I gave to Malika Ben, who was one of the choreographers, we were practicing at her dance academy, was that we wanted to clean your guys' toilets and restrooms every day after practice. And the reason was, for me, was one, we give back. We're receiving, how do we give back? And two, how do we continually stay humble along the journey? Because it's easy, once you're on stage, it's easy to start making up stories about who you are and who you think you are. But when you're on stage and then you're, scrubbing urinals, oh yeah, you're getting the good stuff right there, the reality, right? And so it was beautiful. So the boys and I would scrub and clean, and it was, I just have memories of, no guys, like, get up in here, nope, right down there. And for that to be normal for them, right? To be okay with that. And other kids would go across to the park and clean the park. And finally we'd come together at the park to do prayer and a circle of sharing and connect in that way. So these small things really mattered. This was important. You can maybe see the shoes and the sandals in a straight line. Every time we go into that dance academy, you'll see that the teachers, and in India, we wear slippers more than anything, actually. So the dance teachers there, what they do is they'd come up before they go onto the stage area, they would just flick their feet, right? So the slippers are, and you got this pile of slippers, and then they go up. And here, myself and the kids, we learned that we don't want to do the flick. Let's respect the space, right? And for us to slowly realize that is important. Your choreography, and your singing and your acting, cool, you can work on that. But if you don't get this straight, then all of that is meaningless. So small things were so important. We would do little, cleaning drives on the streets, even though they would get dirty the next day. People would ask us, why are we doing that? And we said, just to work on ourselves and clean ourselves through the process, and serve in small ways. Have little slumber parties at my apartment, all 17 of us. What the goal was to use this whole opportunity to expose our children to learn and to grow. So it goes way beyond the idea of creating just a musical. This is at a pharmaceutical company, just helping our children understand, how do things get created in the world? 90% of all the stuff we use are created in factories. And so trying to understand that. Here's Krishna watering plants. Here's Nikita and Bharti and Vicky burying a squirrel that had passed away in the garden. This insect that Asha was really scared of, all insects, I use that example, but we actually skipped practice one day because one of our girls, Asha, we found out was super sensitive and scared of insects. So instead of going into practice, and, there's a pretty tight timeline and schedule when you're working on a musical production, but it's like sacrificing that because we're going to make friends with insects today. But small things, to me, that was the journey. And if we think about that, it's relatable to all of our lives, right? How many times do we find ourselves skipping to the big to-do list items and forgetting about a small conversation? Or I love this idea, some Navy SEAL, I think commander once said, always do your bed after you wake up. I forgot who, but I love this idea. Start with a small thing in your day, because when you do that, it's going to lead to you paying attention to the next small thing. And being aware of that constant process throughout your day is so, so important. Here's Vishal giving, we would do little acts of kindness as we're working on this kindness challenge. How many of us are in this kindness challenge week here? We got a few people, I think. I think it'll be shared a little more over time, but this idea purposefully, it might not be the thing that we had planned, but if we say, no, we're going to take time out to cultivate our compassion muscle, to go do something to bring a smile to somebody's face. That is kind of what we wanted to do along this journey. Oh yeah, and then there was an actual musical that we created. I forgot about that. No, but the intention was to use this journey, right, that we had to walk the walk and walk the talk at the same time instead of just putting on a show. And we eventually went through this. We ended up performing. There were two different groups, actually. This was a group in 2012, and this was a group in 2019. but it was miracle. One of the lessons I think I learned is when we go into the small things, even though you don't believe it, and you may think that I'm not paying attention to the bigger picture. When we really put our heart into the small things, the bigger picture sometimes just takes care of itself. I could never have, even coming from Wharton School of Business, put a business plan together to take 16 children from these communities across the world on a world tour. I could never have done that. It would never have worked out. It's almost impossible to pull that off. Yeah, the U.S. Embassy, first of all, is like terrorism and child trafficking, two of the ants, you don't get visas, right? So that's the interview process. So we fall under a very big section right there, right? Children and children without their parents. But somehow I think, and I look back and I'm like, when you put your heart into the small things, the big things are taken care of. Two of the big things: passports and visas for kids that don't even have addresses, and $250,000 fundraising to do a 2-month world tour with 25 people. And I couldn't have imagined, nobody can take credit for it. It's way beyond us. But what we can take credit for is that it wasn't about all that. It was about the journey. And how do we, in whatever elements of our lives, whatever we're doing, whatever the process, the path, the challenges, how do we focus on the process? How do we focus on the relationships? How do we focus on cultivating those elements of love? And I think from that is what happened in my observation, is that people started feeling the energy of that. When volunteers would come, or friends, or people would ask, or they might even see Facebook postings or whatever. And they realized that here the relationship was first. The children were first for this project, their life journey, their learning, their growing. And then eventually a volunteer base in the US and the UK just started emerging to want to put something like this together. And it was really, really a blessing. I'll give one of the highlights, because this has to do with one of the songs we're going to be singing right now together. Okay, but one of the highlights of my life, I would say, was we ended up getting visas miraculously. It's the whole visa story is already a big miracle story. And we ended up going on tour, across America. And in Los Angeles, we stayed at my mom and dad's home. And it was amazing. We had 25 people, 16 kids, 8 mentors. We're all sleeping here and there, wherever. And about 50, 60 volunteers and just friends and family across Los Angeles, they came for prayer and dinner one of the nights. And so right before we're having prayer in the evening time, everybody's gathering, all the adults are gathering. And I look around, I'm like, where are the kiddos? 16 kids in a house? Oh yeah, you can feel it, it when it's happening. It's all noise. But I couldn't find them. And so I looked around and I went upstairs, and I went finally in the guest room. These 16 kids are sitting in a circle with somber faces, kind of sad almost. Halfway across the world, getting standing ovations in front of 1,000-people audiences, Disneyland, the White House, Empire State Building. They've seen all of America more than most Americans have seen. Culture shock to the fullest. The most intense experience probably one could imagine, without their parents, and FaceTime. And we didn't have all that. I think we were Skyping once every 2 weeks or something like that at that time, 2012. And yet somehow during this festive kind of evening, they ended up in a circle by themselves without an adult, which I had never seen up to that point. And I said, what's going on, guys? I started laughing because I was kind of like, why are you guys here? And they're like, they call me Nimo, sir. I mean, in India, teachers are called sir. And Nimo, sir, we're dealing with an issue, and we'll deal with it ourselves, and we'll come downstairs in 5 minutes. And I was blown away. For 2 years, we had sat in a circle every practice twice a day. Before practice started, circle, sharing and prayer. After practice ended, and after we're done with cleaning and all that, circle, prayer, and sharing. And I never realized the power of that circle until that moment. I always thought I was forcing the circle upon them. That I thought, this is how we have to do. We have to share. We have to talk. We have to hear each other, listen to each other more than anything. And when they pulled this off, on their own, taking each other upstairs. I'm just trying to visualize how it actually unfolded. It taught me that we have no clue, especially with our kiddos, when and where we're planting seeds and when those seeds will bear fruit, if they will ever bear fruit, And so that was a very powerful experience for me. And it has to do a lot with this song that I was able to write with my friend Daniel Nahmad, whom I think many of you have heard his music. And that story is also a beautiful one, how we connected, but it revolved around this song. But I'd love for us to sing this together. And I'm going to ask Dale to join us so she can kind of get us in that space as well. But I love this quote by Nelson Henderson. The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. When we give of ourselves without expecting of anything in return, there's so much that emerges from that, And I think there's such a life lesson from this. So I want us to sing this song together, Planting Seeds. We're going to sing it once without the music, and then we'll put the music. So you got the words here. And even if you guys feel like it, we're going to get our hands involved here, but it's going to go like this. Whatever grows will grow. Whatever dies will die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing more. So let's try that together once, and then we'll do it with the music. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whatever grows will grow. Whatever dies will die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing more. All right, here we go. I spent a long time running. I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds, then we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. 3, 2, 1. Whatever grows will grow. Whatever dies will die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. It's like your whole life you've been training for this moment. And when the time comes, you just disown it. Meaning you just surrender, don't control it. Not interested in the clay pots and molding, sitting next to your path, trying to unfold it. Waiting for the fruits to fall down towards you. Let it go and now you're flowing, feeling quite gorgeous. Just take steps away and set up towards it. What a rush, feeling freedom with nothing to hold. We've been taught what you touch will always turn to gold, but now we're learning we let it go, it overflows with no credit to take, because no credit is owned. The higher power working deeper when the seeds are sowed. When the seeds are true, they're seeds of gold. But the real gold is joy when life starts to flow. When it does, you just smile, because now you know. I spent a long time running. I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds, then we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around. All right, here we go. We're going to sing this 3 times together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whatever grows will grow. Whatever dies will die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow. Whatever dies will die. Whatever works will work. Whatever flies will fly. Whatever fails will fail. What's meant to soar will soar. We are last time. Here we go. Whatever grows, let it grow, let it grow. If it dies, it dies. Come on. Thank you for singing along. Woo! So I had one, I don't know how much time, I want to be respectful of our time. There was one last song. It's okay? Yeah? All right. I just wanted to see that heart pin there? There's a little heart pin. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. But here's Vishal, one of my kiddos here, and here's his mother. And this story is deeply stitched and etched in my heart for the rest of my life. In 2011 of November, the government was doing a riverfront project, meaning there's a river there, but they wanted to create this beautiful boardwalk and kind of a walk space. So what they did was, without warning, in this slum community, they came with a bulldozer and police, and they said, grab your belongings within the next half an hour, and any space 50 yards within the boardwalk, we're demolishing. So I got a phone call from Vishal's father, and he's like, this is what's happening. Can you please come here? And so I quickly, I couldn't believe it, because we never got warning for this. Typically, you would get a warning notice, but this one unfortunately did not get that. There's a lot of this happening, redevelopment happening now, and they're doing much better with the warning process. But this was very difficult to digest. I go to a grocery store, get some stuff. I didn't know what to expect. I get there, it's all chaos. I couldn't find them. I call them. Eventually, they direct me. I thought everybody would be yelling, screaming, because that's what was going on around in the environment. But when I get there, they're smiling. And the first thing Vishal's mom, who's that lady right there, she sees me, she smiles, she gives me a big hug. They're just happy that I was there with them. She says, "What do you want to drink?" These were the first words that came out of her mouth. Que supi uche, chai, coffee, cold drink. I mean, what do you want to drink? Chai, coffee, a cold soda or something? I started laughing. I was like, are you kidding me? These are the first words coming out of your mouth in this darkest hour of your life? And it really hit me hard, and it stays with me that I feel like the gift they gave me is a deep sense of gratitude. Like, how do I never forget that? To remember that whatever it is that I have, whatever it is that I'm blessed with, to make that the foundation of my life, to walk from that space, to dance from that space. And second is, how do they have the capacity to be so compassionate and kind? And I just felt like that was a lesson that when it's hard to love, keep loving. And that's what, they had taught me. So I want to kind of end this sharing with the last song called Being Kind. And there is a line in the song that says, grab a friend and give a hug. I would have put grab a stranger and give a hug, but there was too many syllables. When I wrote that song, I was like, okay, one syllable, we'll stick with friend, because everybody should be a friend. So I would love for us, when you hear those lines, to just feel free to hug somebody and hug another person if you feel like it. The song is called Being Kind. My heart starts sinking, and I'm thinking, what's the reason why we holding back from being kind? What's the disease? But then I sense we are fine. It'll all happen. One small step when the world is full of violence, and I need a little kindness. I just sit and pray in silence, and God shows me the signs. Open my eyes, realize we have gone. One small step. Last night I'm walking home, and the homeless man says hello with a smile to let me know that he's got a lot of hope. He says, have faith, young man. We are fine. The world is kind. Small acts we do together, even though maybe alone changes the world for the better. So we can call it home, and this is life as we know when our hearts are aligned. The magic that unfolds one small act at a time. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high. Let your love for all the world spread through the skies. Let it drop down, let it all go. Spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be at a time, and kindness will be all we can be. Yeah. Feeling grateful today. Never thought this day would come where I would feel it and say, each and every one of us have paved the way doing good, and now we're all just moving up. When I'm kind to you, you pay it forwards. This is how we build trust. Never had faith, but now I'm seeing you. I want to give you my life. Gonna spread love before I die. Thank you, God, for finally letting me realize when I serve man, I'm really serving you. In the sky, smiles everywhere, cause now everybody's got the bug. Ain't no life without the love. If it is, it ain't no fun. What we gonna do? Now just grab a friend and give a hug. Spread it out real wide so everyone can be touched. Throw your hearts up. Let it fly out. Let your love spread through the sky. Let it drop down. Let it all go. Spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see your love from me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me. Time and kindness will be all we can leave behind. All we can leave behind. For you and I, kindness is all we can leave behind. All we can leave behind. You and I, kindness is all we can leave behind. When all is said and done, kindness is all we can leave behind. Throw your hearts up, let it fly. Let your love for all the world. Let it drop down, let it all go. Spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see the love for me shining through? Cause what you're seeing, I can see in you. Feeling up, we'll be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind. Thank you, dear.
Well, I told you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the hug.
Okay, so it's that time in our service for our offering. So I just invite you to come into yourself, the inspiration that you truly are vibrating as in this moment, to love on yourselves. And first, before we do anything, I want to give thanks to you for all the gifts that you give to this community, all the love that you bring here, all the care, all the food, all of the broken pieces and all of the whole pieces that we share together. So first, just receive deeply as right now we just breathe this in together, the giving and receiving, the service that you give in all ways. Knowing also that as you give freely from a place of overflow, that it's all returned unto you, easily and gracefully, simultaneously, the moments that we give and receive come together. And so at this point, at this time in our service, we take time to give to our community, to ourselves, so that we can spread this louder and louder and louder in the world. That we can spread it deeper and deeper in the chambers of the heart and in the chambers of the places of those who have lost heart. That is what we are doing. That is all we are ever doing. And we get to do it together, playfully, lovingly, joyfully, embracing all that is real and all that is true in love. And so we invite you today to find the space within you of your overflow, to bring forward that which from your financial abundance is in the overflow to support your community with love and grace, kindness and blessings, and your financial gifts. And so, Andy, if you would join me. I just want to take a second to have everybody remember that one of the last things that Andy did in this community was give a huge gift of her time and her talent and her effort to make an incredible concert happen. So we could not have done it without her, and it was spectacular. If you missed it, we're going to reprise it next year. So, if Nemo's in the country, we might just give him a little, come on over. In the meantime, thank you very much. And thank you for your gifts of time and talent and treasure.
If you could say together, if we could say together as one, the blessing of our offering.
Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and I give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive. We're going to do a piece of music of Nemo's called Grateful right now. You may have seen it online. We sent it around to try and give a little sample of what his work is, and Dale will be joining him, and of course, all of you.
So the words are, the chorus is all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing. And I'm grateful for it all,
If it sounds familiar, that's because that was our affirmation today. So you can go look. But it is both on this sheet and also on your affirmation. And we're just going to wait 1 minute. So why don't we, no worries. We're going to just take a minute and bring the offering in, and then we'll do the song afterwards. So thank you, everyone, for your gifts that you have shared so generously with us this morning. Thank you for being here and how much of a gift of service it is to share with each other in this place together. So thank you. So just join me as we bless this gift. Receive this gift. Open your hearts to this gift. Thank yourself and your community for all that is given and all that is received, knowing that this is one form of our awareness and our ability to speak freely and fully into the world with this great message of love, especially now. Thank you.
You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love, you're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun, you're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter, you're my friend to the end, you're my dreams, you're my father, you're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround, I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere, the clouds, you're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow, you're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow, you're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize everything is a gift.
All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. Grateful for it.
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned. Every time I think I've found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward. And start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything will feel gorgeous.
All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all.
Every day I sit and pray, cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, or there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now,
So we lift up our hands.
and I open
Yes, and we make this little heart sign right here. We're gonna send it to the world. We call it a heart burst. Start right here from the heart to everything near and far. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All that I am, everything I am, everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. One more time, all that I am, everything I am, everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope, everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Na 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 na. I'm grateful for it all. Na 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 na. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you,
I need you for one more second. Yeah. So remember that thing about when you give, you get to give, because we're a tithing community, so we give when we get, and we give and we get, and we give and we get. So the constant giving and receiving is always flowing. So today we just wanted to make a little gift to this gentleman in front of us. From your generosity, that is where this comes from. And so for his nonprofit, for Empty Hands, we have, from all of your generosity, a check for your...
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to us.
And I have a small little gift for CCL. It's a handmade painting from a friend of mine. It says, when all is said and done, kindness is all we can leave behind.
Oh,
And it just says, Dear Catherine, dearest Catherine and CCL family, may you all continue to be blessed within and continue serving our Morristown community and beyond. Keep shining, loving, hugging, smiling, praying, practicing, laughing. Love you all.
thank you. Yay, for you. We'll leave it so you can enjoy it up here. And at this moment, I would also like to take a moment to say thank you to some people around the house who have been here this morning from early and will be here a little later probably than most of you. So if we could just take this moment to really thank Setup, Harmony, thank you very much, and Jane. Could you just bounce up so we can see you and give you a little? Jane might be doing something else, so she's not bouncing right now. Ushers, Harmony and Andy, thank you, thank you. Refreshments, Peggy, Kathy, and Paula, it looks like. Thank you so much. There's a lot going on back there. You'll be very happy to know. And then altar, Annie. And if we could just take a moment to spread the love to this media team that has been on it all morning. Wayne, Marty, Keith, John, and Nefertiti. I want to thank also our musician in-house. Thank you, Dale. Thank you to our ministerial team for showing up and serving you. And thank you for all of you for being here in the house today. You are the blessing that we know carries itself out into the world as you. So thank you. Marlene, would you do that one thing you do so well? I'm going to do it after.
As if my mouth isn't big enough.
It's not, honey.
Okay, so if any of you are here for the first time, we would ask that you stand. And if any of you were here for the first time last time and we did say, I want y'all to stand too. If you haven't been here in a while, I want you to stand too.
And if you feel new today, I want you to stand too.
There you go. So that kind of means everything. So if you will all raise your hands and repeat after me. Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living.
Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living.
We are a heart-centered spiritual community.
We are a heart-centered spiritual community.
And we open ourselves to you in love.
We open ourselves to you in love.
We recognize the perfection of God within you.
We recognize the perfection of God within you.
And we celebrate the joyous being that you are.
We celebrate the joyous being that you are.
You are a radiant point of light.
You are a radiant point of light.
And we are blessed by your presence.
We are blessed by your presence.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. It was when Nimo was talking about family and growing our family, and I was like, ooh, goody, we get to be family with Nimo, and now we're like part of the cool kids. So you can see us on YouTube and all sorts of cool places now. So thank you again, Nimo, for being here. This was such an incredible gift, and it fell into place, at least on our side. I wouldn't say without effort, I would say with easeful effort. And it really flowed beautifully, and he's here and he's not always here, so just from our hearts, please always come see us. You're always welcome. We've initiated 2 weeks ago the 21 Days of Kindness. Not that many people raised their hands, but I know there's plenty of you involved, so I don't know what happened. But we are continuing that. So all you have to do is go and find them. We'll put it in the newsletter again this week. You just link to it. It drops you an email every day that tells you what your job of kindness is for the day. Pushes you, believe me, because I was like, man, I can do kindness every day. Yeah, but not the one they're asking you to do in the book. You know, I've had some really funny adventures. So what I did, because I was going first, is summarize some of my adventures for you. So if you go on Facebook and you're like, I can't figure out what to do today, you can find out what I did, because I was like, I didn't have a book to give away, or I didn't have something. So just have fun with it. It expands your mind. And what I found, I think I heard Nimo say this, it makes you look for a place to give your love. Like, what can I do? how can I give this today? And you spend the whole day. And I had this one moment where, oh, I know what it was. Nimo handed out some checks or some bills in envelopes to us and said, pay it forward at the last thing. And so I was walking around for days thinking, the special moment will arrive or whatever, and nothing was happening, and I was starting to feel guilty because I was still carrying this money around. I'm like, oh, God is going to get you. But I really couldn't find the right place to deliver it, and I was in the airport, and I was walking into the bathroom. There was a woman, and she was quietly inward and not expressing her joyful vitality in that moment. Something was going on. I could really feel it. And she was the worker in the bathroom. And I just stopped, and I was like, yes! I got so excited. I'm like, whoa, tone it down, sister. And I just was able to find it and give it to her and just look in her eyes and just say, thank you so much for being here to keep this space clean as I move through here and for all of us. The light in the bathroom was just, I was tremendous. So if you feel like doing this, do it. It's really life-changing every day. And then you get 21 days, so you get to change the habit of forgetting every day because you keep being reminded. And Wayne is making sure you won't forget because he keeps sending you messages that you'll be reminded. And just do what you can do. Just do it when you can. So that's out there. It will come to you again. If you've been on the journey, great, have fun, keep going. You can always go back and redo if you missed a day. Don't worry about all of it. There's no shoulds. Okay. Live prayer with me and your community, Tuesdays through Fridays, 12 noon on Zoom. We share, we pray, we sometimes cry and talk and dance and sing too, but we do the prayer, and it's really an amazing thing. If you're ever having a day when you can't remember the totality of who you are, come sit with us, okay? Also, on the 28th, Red Tent. So any women in this congregation or your friends also are welcome. Please reach out to Kathy or Renee, and all that information is in your newsletter. John Mundy will be here next week. Very exciting. He's doing A Course in Miracles with us, and he'll also be doing a workshop. Please make sure you register because we need to know which space we need. If it's all of y'all's, we're going to need a little bigger space. So if you're coming, come. It's really fun. And we are having, on the 5th of November, we are Zoom only because of something happening here. So please just keep reminding you, and we'll keep reminding you. On the 11th, we have a workshop with Dr. Ani, who is in Armenia. Is that true? Yes, she's still in Armenia, and the situation there has gotten pretty bad. And so kindness and love to her also, but also the people who have been removed from their homes with just the clothes on their back, and it's getting cold. So in the newsletter this week, we sent you a place to donate if you wanted to. We sent you some words from her and her expressed care and love for the fact that we have been including her in our prayers, and also the Armenian people for what they're going through. So again, with Nimo's reminder, we lift up and we feel with those people in those spaces, and we allow ourselves to have just such awe for the strength and the power that they are exhibiting by living in those conditions. And we uplift them with our love. And if we are able to, we pour our financial contributions also there. And thank you very much. On the 12th, we have an in-person service, me, Ginger Coyle, and we're going to have some kind of community circle afterwards. I'm just save the date. That day is going to be something after the service. And then after that, we're doing the rest of the month. And at the end of the month, we have Giving Tuesday. So you know that's coming. Do you hear the drum roll in the distance? And off we go into the completion of the service. If we could all stand and hold hands together around the room. And we're going to do a song with Nimo. So it's slightly different than we normally do. We won't do the peace song today. Do they have the lyrics for this? Okay. Look at this. Look at this. So you might recognize parts of this, and I think, Nimo, we're good to sing along if
Oh, yeah.
wherever
yeah.
you want.
And Dale will lead us into it, but this is Daniel and I in 2000, I think it was 16, had an intention to do our interpretation of "We Shall Overcome," and the original version of the song is also in here. So we're going to be playing the music video, but would love for you towards the end when it comes in. We'll follow Dale and we go into Dale and Daniel, and we'll go into "We Shall Overcome." Sure. I just want to let me see if I can get this video started. Oh, here we go. Let's get you.
Burning inside, the hurting and the suffering, minds creating anger, fear, and pain, suffocating at times. The tougher it gets, rougher social media cries, but we seeded with that. We tweeting only negative lines. We're sick and tired of history, but repeating it twice. Greed, anger, and violence, clearly stealing our nights, feeling it tight between the shoulders with the chill in the spine. Pinching myself, waking up, trying to stop the rewind and move forward towards stories, overcoming our fears, choosing love over hate, praying, trading hugs over tears. It's only one choice, breaking down the walls and repair every broken heart on this planet till there's no longer fear.
Walls can't hold us in.
Walls can't hold us in.
Fear can't keep us down.
Fear can't keep us down.
Love will rise again.
It'll rise again.
Yeah, it's rising right now. We shall overcome.
Every time I think it's gonna take much longer.
We shall overcome.
Every time I question, am I getting stronger?
We shall just begun.
One of Vishma's father.
We shall overcome.
Yeah, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Young Gandhi couldn't fathom how to deal with himself when he was thrown off the train and the pain that he felt. Mrs. Parks disrespected, dragged into jail because of the color of his skin, organs, tissues, and cells. One day a young girl was shot on a bus by a man, a terrorist, part of the Taliban. He said, "On this land you have no right to stand for what you believe in. Girls have no chance here." Well now, that's just the story of three souls who shook our planet to being down on their knees, and it's not gonna stop. Those seeds have now become trees, and as human beings we'll keep on digging till we find peace.
Yeah, the cynics always say that nothing ever changes. The human nature's bound to stay the same. But it couldn't be more plain that violence never pays, injustice never stays. It's bound to fade away. What if history awaits? What if today's the day? We already know the way, so let's all lead the way. We shall overcome.
Every time I think it's gonna take much longer.
We shall overcome.
Every time I question, am I getting stronger?
We have just begun.
Gonna make a change, we gotta push much farther.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome. Come on now.
I will carry on.
I will carry
Yeah,
on.
I will carry on.
I will carry on.
Long after we're gone.
Long after
The
we're
roots
gone,
of the trees we plant will be strong.
we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Makes me wanna sing now.
We shall
Sing along.
overcome.
Every time I think it's gonna take much longer.
We shall overcome.
Every time I question, am I getting stronger?
We shall overcome.
Gonna make a change, we gotta push much farther. Cause I'm feeling it deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart.
Oh, I do believe.
I do believe.
hands together one more time. We shall overcome. Here we go. Woo! I knew it. God had a plan for us to do it. Rock bottom before we rise and continue. To first learn greed before we learn to be human. To do wrong deeds before we learn to spread beauty. There's always a plan, and now it's time to stake a stand for the of the planet, every woman and man. We ain't gonna stop, only growing our demands for all beings to feel peace in every heart and land. Thank you, Lord, for the strength and the courage to bring us together and keep our souls nourished. These tough times will only drown in our chorus, because we all believe that the truth is before us. We shall overcome this pain. We shall overcome this day. We pray for love to lead the way.
Overcome someday.
We pray for love to lead the way.
Return within. Bless this holy time that we have spent together, this glorious uprising of this love energy, the vibration of the holiness of all that is. We give great thanks for this visitation from Nimo today, for all the presence of all who are here sharing in this uplifted heart, and for all the gifts of all the people on this planet where there is any suffering, any doubt, or any worry. We embrace them in this great group hug that we have right here. And we bless all of this, knowing we take this light out into the world in strength and glory, in peace and in love, right here and now, today. And so it is.
And so it is.
I want to get one photo of all of us like this.
Okay. Okay. If you'll sing one more, can we do another verse of We Shall Overcome? Do you guys want to do that?
Sure.
Lead us into it.
All right, everyone.
Here she goes. Dale on the keys.
1, 2, 3. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Can we do that heart thing one more time? That's super cool. Remember that? Everybody bring your hearts into your hands. And will you lead us into what you said?
Yeah, we just call it a heart burst.
Okay.
And we're gonna.
Wait.
So let's bring it by our heart and just have whatever each of us have, one intention, whatever you want it to be. Just put that in your heart for a few seconds. Take a deep breath. And on the count of 3, we're just going to burst it out to the world and to those that you're praying for and sending that love to, and for yourself and for the community here. 3, 2. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Woo! It's a wrap. Thank you so much. Awesome. Whew.
Everyone, thank you. Wonderful service.
Blessings, everybody.